ruled bodybuilding for 8 consecutive years after that first win. So the era of Ronnie Coleman.
Yep.
Can you talk about that era and sort of like as a whole, you know?
I tell people all the time that those days went by so fast. I can't even hardly remember winning hardly any of those shows. For the most part, I was always in the mindset of I got to get ready. I got to get in top condition. I got to get in shape. I got to hold on to this title. You know, it was like I didn't never like do a lot of celebrating because I was always like, I got to get in shape. I got to stay in shape. I got to hold on to this title for the most part. And I don't think I started celebrating until my career was over with, you know. Wow. After it was all over and done with, I'm like, man, I won that thing 8 times. How did that happen? Where did all that time go? Because like I said, for the most part, I was still working for the police department too. I worked, my first 3 or 4 Olympias I stayed on because, to be honest with you, the chief came and said, hey man, I know you won the Olympia, and we really want you to stick around so you don't have to come work if you don't want to. he's like, all you got to do is go to, he told me I had to go to class, you know, and do law updates and qualify, you know, with the gun and everything. He said, that's all you got to do, and you can take off as much as you want. So for the most part, that's what I ended up doing, you know. I would work for the most part until the Olympia came around. The Olympia came around, I'd take like 3 months off and get ready for the show, and I didn't go to work or nothing. So they didn't, you know, force the issue or nothing. So they let me do what I wanted to do and come work when I wanted to. Wow. And yeah. But that chief ended up quitting like I said, my 4th year into it, and the new chief was like, man, I can't do what he was doing. I'm new. He had been here for a while. He could do what he wanted to do. So I had to go by the rules, and I had to show up for work all the time. I'm like, man, I can't be working all the time and doing the Olympia, getting ready for the Olympia too. So I ended up having to quit after about my 5th or 6th Olympia somewhere in there. I think I worked part-time for a while there, and got to the point where, you know, I was always gone, you know, and I could ever hardly show up to put in no time. I was doing all these guest poses and doing all these appearances and stuff, and so, and when I wasn't, I was getting ready for the Olympia. So I ended up just letting the whole thing go and just concentrated totally on just getting ready for the Olympias, the last 3 Olympias that I ended up winning. But
did dieting come easy to you? You being from the South, from Louisiana, Texas. I mean, dieting, was it something you had to?
Yeah, you know what? For the most part, I think dieting has a lot to do with who's kind of like cooking your food. I remember I always had real good food. You know, even when I had chicken and steak, and it was always good. Because for the most part, I would always put either ketchup or barbecue sauce on everything I ate, you know. And so dieting wasn't that hard. It didn't come hard. My mom, she was like the best cook ever. And when she cooked my food, I can still remember it being real tender and real juicy. And it just didn't seem like I was really on a diet for the most part. And the food was good and I enjoyed it. So, dieting was easy. Even in the off season, you know, I kind of like ate the same stuff, you know. I didn't really like go and eat a whole bunch of pizza and stuff. And I didn't like pizza after a while. I worked for Domino's for 2 years. I remember when I worked for Domino's, I was so poor and I could barely make ends meet. I looked forward to going to work so I can eat, because pizza was free. And I ate it every single day. And after a while, you know, about you know, a year or so into it, you know, I'm like, man, I'm tired of eating pizza. But Burger King was right next door to us, and I'm like, I wonder if they tired of eating hamburgers. So I called them, like, hey, y'all tired of eating burgers? They're like, yeah. Y'all want to trade? They're like, yeah, we want to eat pizza. So I would trade pizza for hamburgers. Then after I got tired of eating hamburgers, Kentucky Fried Chicken was right next door to them. So I called them up, hey, y'all tired of eating chicken? Like, yeah. Y'all want to trade? Like, yeah. So I started trading pizza for fried chicken, you know. So it was always somebody, you know, to trade out food with, you know. So.
Do you think you were blessed with superior genetics?
I think I had some of the best genetics. You have, in order to be genetically gifted, you still have to work real hard though, because I think Flex had the best genetics in the world, but I kind of outworked him. You know, when I went to the gym, you know, I lift hard, I lift heavy. I'd get in there and I wouldn't stay in the gym no longer than an hour. And the whole time I was there, you know, I was focused. I was lifting hard, I was lifting heavy, and I was concentrating on what I had to do, concentrating on, you know, like body parts and stuff. I would always like focus on my symmetry. You know, I saw that my legs were weak, so I would work legs twice a week. They'd come up. So my calves were weak, I worked the calves like 3-4 times a week, and they come up. So my arms were getting too big, so I quit training arms for like two or three years because they were getting too big. And I'm like, man, my arms so they was like 24, 25 inches. Like, man, that's too big. Like, yeah, that's throwing my symmetry off. So I wouldn't train arms. So I was focused on, you know, all my body parts, you know. So I'd get in the gym and, you know, and another thing is I had to go to work. So I couldn't just go in there and just goof off, you know. I'd go in there and spend maybe an hour, 15 minutes and go straight to work. I had to get up and do cardio. I'd do like an hour cardio and then I'd eat a couple times and then I'd go to work, you know, after all of that. You know, so I didn't have a lot of time. So when I went to the gym, I was just, you know, serious. I didn't play around, I didn't clown around, I didn't spend a lot of time in the gym. I only spent, like I said, about an hour, 15 minutes for the most part. And the whole time I was there, I was just training, you know, hitting it hard, hitting it heavy, and doing what I needed to do. And I think for the most part, I outworked a lot of those guys, you know. Like I said, I trained, 6 days a week. You know, I only took one day off. I trained Monday through Saturday. And just took Sundays off, and I was doing like 2 hours of cardio a day, training. I could only train once a day, you know, because, you know, working full time for the police department, I didn't have enough time to, you know, like break my training up and train a body part here and train a body part there and stuff like that, like some of the guys would do that didn't have jobs. So I'd get all my training in one session, and that was it. And of course I did like, I would do cardio before work, and then when I get off from work, I do cardio again. So I was able to do cardio twice a day, and a training session once, and then work. So even though I had great genetics, I still think I was able to outwork most of the guys, and I think that's how I stayed ahead too. You know, I was always working real hard in the gym. Every time I went in there, I didn't, like I said, I didn't goof off. I didn't play around. I didn't mess around. I just do my training, get in there, get my training in, and get out. Even when I didn't work for the police department, I kept the same training regimen. I'd get in there, hit it real hard, you know, get out and go and do whatever I need to do afterwards.